Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. The fight to stop land grabbers for Edo State still continue after the protest wey happen on Monday. This na wetin Kola Edokpayi, Comrade Stanley Osaze Osakwenokwodi and Esosa Ewere dey talk for this video. Make I leave you now, make you hear the message wey they bring come today. Enjoy the video.
Are you live now?
Yeah.
Yes, we want to say very good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. I remain my humble self, Comrade Stanley Osaze and members of our team, Comrade Kola Marxist Edokpayi, our brother, our sister, Auntie Blessing Abo, our brother, a senior political leader, aka under the sun or in the rain, Esosa Ewere, with all our comrades, representatives all the way from diaspora. Can you introduce yourself, sir? Human is still in the same vein.
Comrade, that's
is not showing on your camera.
You're going to turn to show him whenever needs be. Hello, bros. Come and sit here. You have to come and sit here.
It's only your face camera.
Yes. Our brother in that same shower, Apostle Alfred Ilusa, who is on his way as a result of some unforeseen occurrence that may be above human control. The logistics mechanism of our brother is having a little problem, so he said he's going to join us shortly. I want to say a very big thank you to all Edo people for your overwhelming support in the just concluded first segment protest against land grabbers in Edo State. If you are watching us, we urge you to kindly share this video and as well invite your friend. We cannot just say we've started a cause. We just protested and go into our rooms to sleep. To say, no. We actually promised the entire world that we are going to ensure that we follow the activity to a logical conclusion. And as our brother rightly said, he said, and I quote, no one has the character configuration. That's the society where I'm quoting him now. To take us out of our comfort zone. No hair whatsoever. As far as we no land grabber. As far as we are concerned, our agitation remains and will not stop. Regardless of the blackmail, regardless of the 1x2 flying across all nooks and crannies, regardless of the naira accruing to it, we are determined to stand to defend what we rightfully believe in. The truth of the matter is simple. We are here today. We are not helping anybody. We are helping ourselves. Because if Edo is good, it's for you and I. That is why we see it as a collective resolve by all and sundry to be part and parcel of the process. I want to thank our brother, who I don't want to mention his name now, but maybe somebody, if there's an approval for us to mention his name publicly, and our sister all the way from diaspora, and many more, who have supported this protest immensely. I won't deceive you. We are spending our resources, but we cannot deceive you that people are not as well giving support like them, like those in our group. So we won't dispute that. Even if anybody goes out to say, don't mind them, don't mind them. We are too limited as an individual to be able to single-handedly fund the struggle to the end. We are too limited. That is the truth. So we want to say a very big thank you to all. And we are saying we remain firm and resolute in achieving a specific goal. We never allow distraction. If we want to take bribe, if we need revenue generation, by now this entire discussion would have been pro-way of Ogoromi. Yeah. This entire discussion would have been a pro-Ohe discussion. Because the bribe, the 1 by 2, is flying around all those and crowding of Edo State. But we do not need it. Good name, they say, is better than riches. Influence is better than money. May God bless you. I want to open the podium for my brother, our brother, Massis Kola Edopai. Tell us before.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to greet brothers and sisters, both home and diaspora, for their stupendous contribution to ensure that our protests of Monday
Faculty.
usually
Faculty.
and
the great company.
Successful. Despite the intimidations, despite the empty threats from some quarters, but we'll think about that day to register our protest. And I want to use this opportunity to condemn in totality the antediluvian, the anachronistic, the barbaric, the primitive, the horrendous, satanic, monstrous, and odious act of the Nigeria police, led by the Commissioner of Police, CP Philip Ubadu, who unlawfully detained peaceful protesters, and the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly. The right to freedom of association and peaceful assembly, freedom of movement, freedom of expression are fundamental human rights guaranteed by the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended Universal Declaration of Human Rights, African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The Commissioner of Police should tender an unreserved apology to us. He has no right whatsoever to infringe on our fundamental human rights. We are not living in a banana republic. We are not operating fascism. We are not operating despotism. We are not operating authoritarianism or totalitarianism, where the rights to protest is stifled by the police. No. We are very, very conscious people in Edo State. We know our rights. The movement to liberate or to emancipate the suffering Edo people from the satanic act of land grabber is unstoppable. According to Fidel Castro, there is no army in the world that can stop an idea whose time has come. Injustice anywhere is a threat of justice everywhere. Our life, they say, begin to hate. We don't become silent about things that matters. We cannot fold our hands while some stark illiterate, people that cannot even spell their father's name, in the name of Ohe, in the Ohe of communities, Enoge, Enige, Ojonwores, or kindness of community beginning to exacerbate development, begin to discourage people from developing our communities. We must join hands with the governor of Edo State to ensure that these activities of land grabbing is nipped in the bud. We will not fail, as our network will not fail us to also call on those, the ridiculous elements that are supporting these land grabbers. We have some of them in the palace. Our village is not aware of their satanic activities. We have some of them that are some top politicians. We have some of them as senior police officers from State CID, from AIG, and from Force Headquarters Abuja. In no distant time, we shall displace their nomenclature. Their names will be written in our hall of shame. We are not people to shame them. Enough is enough. Yeah. Anybody that is strictly against the development of those states must be crushed like a moving train. We are going to disclose the next line of action. This is just the beginning of our protest. This is just the beginning. We are not going to relax. We must continue to engage these enemies of the people. We are not taking into cognizance the activities of some blackmailers. What of frustration and trying to see how they can divide us. The more they continue to raise issues that will divide us, the more we continue to be united.
That's it.
We must continue, because it also Fidel Castro said that united we shall continue to fight, we shall continue to emancipate our people. Thank you very much. Amala.
Yes, I want to commend you, my brother, for your fine speech. It is very clear and obvious that our determination remains unwavering, and our stance and unity in confronting this monster still remains ironclad. With this, I want to call on my brother, the most respected former CPS in those states, the most respected Susa
Morgan.
Our very respected Edo people, we cannot thank you enough for the humongous support and solidarity you have exhibited since the conceptualization of this movement. Let me inform you that it has not been a smooth sail. It has not been a bed of roses. But we know that issues like these would always attract certain level of resistance. But we are used to it. And it is not just something we are delving into because we want to be popular. By the grace of God, there is nobody here that is unknown. So it is not for popularity. It is not for position. It is not because we want to get something or gain something that we're here. We are here because we are personally convinced that there are certain actions that some persons continue to exhibit that hampers human capital development in our states. And land grabbing is one. Encroachment, illegal encroachment into a land that one has bought from you or from your community is one. Illegal demolition of a property that has been developed to a very substantial level is another one. The sales of land, one land to multiple persons, in fact, that's the worst. So we are here to call on the government, not only to call on the government, like Master Scholar just said, we are ready to partner, and we are already partnering with the Obaseki-led administration to ensure that this evil cankerworm that has so much depopularized and underdeveloped our society is completely out of place. And for those who think that without land grabbing, without these underhand land deals in our states, they cannot arrive. They cannot be somebody. I want to let you know that there are better things. We are not saying you shouldn't go into properties and lands and what have you, but you must be seen to be representing the ethics and philosophies of that craft, of that profession, not embarrassing other persons who are doing their legal business with your illegality. So we are asking, and we will continue to ask, no matter what those who aid and abet these guys are doing, no matter what they're saying, we are asking you to withdraw your sponsorship. We are asking you to stay clear. We are asking you to tell them to go away from these evil practices, because it has brought a lot of embarrassment to our communities. And we believe in the government of Godwin Obaseki. We believe that the governor is seriously on top of the situation. And with our movement a few days ago, a lot of development, a lot of positivities has come. And for those who continue to want to, who have been attempting to want to divide us, to want to relegate our struggle, you are just wasting your time. Because this is a pro-people struggle, and we naturally will win. It is a natural win for us. It is not just, it's a generational fight, like I said this morning. It's a generational movement that we go from generation to generation until government is able to naturally enforce the PPP laws without being called upon like we are currently doing. We will not rest. So don't bother yourself. You'll be wasting your time. You'll be wasting your energy. You'll be wasting your resources, because the movement is a pro-people movement. Our brothers and sisters at home and abroad are solidly behind this movement. It is not a one-man show or a two-man show. It is a movement for the entire Edo people who believe in the cause of struggling for those who are underprivileged and underopportuned to fight their causes alone. So that is why we are here. We appreciate you once again for those that are supporting us with everything that they got, and we promise you that this is just the beginning, and the beginning of the end of land grabbing in Edo State is now. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to say a very big thank you to my brother, the most respected Susa Ewure, for that beautiful submission. It's quite obvious that we are not here for an amateur dramatic play. We are here to do what is right. It is also true that when you are fighting corruption, corruption must fight back. And we've just seen a classical example some few days back. We should stop living the life of a clandestine. If I am for, I am for. If I am against and attacking the fabrics of the protest and agitation, and at the same time coming out to say, I support, we don't understand. So I think at least to some extent, as a human, we should be able to stand tall and straight so that every individual will know exactly where we belong.
No cowardice, no room for cowardice.
You can imagine. So I think we are moving forward. There are so many strategies. But because of the fact that we know that corruption will certainly fight back, we are keeping those strategies till when it is exhibited. But what I can not just only assure Edo people is, what we are going to authoritatively assure is that this struggle must get to its logical conclusion. But one fact still remains. Don't be deceived. There are pressures coming from different areas. These people we are fighting with now, they are our friends. We are close in communities. We are relations. People must have been calling you to say, what is happening? But let me tell you, the pressure is on the ground. But you won't understand. What is a man? M-U-A-N, it passed what you see in the spelling and the alphabet. Many things is in. Calls are coming from different tributaries. But by the power of God Almighty, we are determined and we are going to continue. Regardless of the intimidation, regardless of the blackmail, we shall overcome. Let me bring my sister, a woman, a great woman of inestimable value. I don't know what's talking about. I say when, a woman, we say when a woman, those strong. You say, man, then she come be. So as we speak, the man, woman in the midst, our most respected Blessing Agu. You have the.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my senior comrades. You are my elder brothers, and I cannot appreciate you guys enough. Anyways, for the land grabbing issue, like they've all said, they've spoken well, we are not relenting. We will not stop until we put an end to all these land grabbing issues. In the 7 local governments we have here in Benin City. So if you are a land grabber, there is nothing you can do to destabilize us. Like Esusa Ewere said, that every one of us sitting here are known faces. None of us is seeking fame. None of us is as poor as they are. We don't beg to put food on our table. We work to put food on our table. So we cannot be bought. We are also contented with what we earn. If we are not, as you can see, first thing that is even making them jealous is because they are seeing the unity, because this agitation is apolitical. We have the APCs and we have the PDPs here agitating for this cause. We all kept our different sentiments aside and decided to fight for the cause. So in fact, there is nothing that can prepare their enemies more than that. So we are not asked for any, is it fame or is it monetary gain? If we couldn't sell our conscience when we did the previous election, is it now we want to sell our conscience? So please, exactly, just like Stanley said, that 100, 1 by 2, 100 feet by 200 feet is flying in the air, and that is why they've all brought out their teeth to back at us. So my good people of Edo, we need your support. It is your support that will give us, that will boost our morals to continue fighting. Forget the blackmail, see, we were not expecting that they will just fold their hands and be looking at us while we're fighting this. We are definitely stepping on toes. In fact, we are hitting a point that nobody has been able to touch for so many years, apart from the government. People have been talking about every other thing, but this is the first time that people came together collectively to fight this land grabbing issue.
That's pure truth.
And you think it will be an easy ride? It won't be. We've all been threatened, dear ally. We've all been begged, dear ally. But we refuse because it is for the good of our people. So the least we expect from you is your support and not to relent. If you have your petitions, bring them in. Because some persons must and will be used as scapegoats for others to learn. Because when that doesn't happen, they will not stop. If it was to end with the protest we did on Monday, trust me, next week they'll start grabbing lands again.
They are doing it too. I have a practical experience today.
Oh, they'll start grabbing lands immediately. They'll say they don't protest finish. So it's not ending with the protest. Thank you very much.
I want to say thank you very much, our sister, Blessing Agu. The truth is very clear. You have a practical experience today,
this morning,
and as we speak, believe me, if it is the money that wants to benefit, bros, by now we're supposed to say, leave Ohangoromi alone, leave Ohangoromi alone, leave Ohangoromi. That's all now. What are you telling me? As we speak, we know how many calls don't come.
Lands are being
I said, do you know how much is a land in Ohangoromi? 100 by 100, you should have at least, let's say 5 million, 6 million naira. So if it is 1 by 2, we are talking about 12 million. Not be the one who will say, how do you not buy it? It is available. By now, you will be hearing us saying, we start. This is not about Ohangoromi alone. A report just came to me that the Nokia of Uri, who sold the land to somebody, the other person want to develop, You know, God will be sending best not with that. But I will not conclude now because I've not heard from him. We are not a group that will just get information and begin to fight without hearing from the other divide. But the truth of the matter is, like that of Ohoromi, it's very different. Because the information is already at the public space. Not 1, not 10, not 15, not 25. So that is it. I want to be laconic and direct to the point so that I can bring in our brother, Mr. Steve.
Thank you, everyone.
All the way from diaspora. He's a representative of those in the diaspora in this struggle.
I'm delighted to be part of this struggle. I want to make it very clear to you guys that the entire those in diaspora are completely underlined with the capital letter behind the guards.
Thank you.
We have had series of meetings behind the closed doors, and because we are actually the ones who have been hit more in the land grabbing, racketing in Edo State. Because we buy lands, we travel out of the country, we don't come here 3, 4, 5 years, and our lands are just there. Before we come back to go and develop, the land has been built, somebody's already living on our space. So when you guys came up with this idea to fight for us, you are not fighting for yourself, you're actually fighting for us. And just the way we supported Governor Obaseki during the election, we tried to throw our weight behind the struggle. But we want a liberated Edo where we can come back home and develop. Okay, that's just the reason. We are tired living in another man's land. I've led this country for close to 25 years. I'm damn tired. I want to come back home. I'm doing nothing there. Okay, but most of us can't come home because of the fear of intimidation and harassment. A boy coming yesterday with a CO4 on his land in Ohoromi. The land's already built. I'm telling you, sir. Yes, it's built. I have it. I think I posted it on the general wall. It's already built by someone that's not the owner. It's as bad as that. The guy came back to come and clear. He met a mighty duplex on his land. The guy was surprised. He called me and said, "This is CFO. This is my land." He said, "Don't worry, you're going to get your land back."
That's 100%. For as long as he has the CFO.
Yeah, I told you you're going to get the land back. But what am I stating? There are many people who do not have a CFO. Who just bought their land, they left their land there, today they can't go back. So this struggle is not just about anyone, just like you said. There are many different communities that are actually creating a lot of issues for the Edo people. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you who are there. Actually decided to put your name and your integrity at stake, for the betterment of the Edo people, both home and in the diaspora. I want to say a very big thank you to you guys, and we appreciate you all, and we believe strongly at the end of the day, we shall overcome every evil. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to state this clearly. First, I saw where somebody wrote that we are able to submit the petition to. For now, we are going to get back to you by Friday. Excuse me, by Friday we'll create this central place. Just by Friday you get details for that. So we're doing any of our things, we try to do it very intelligently, because there's a big difference between stacky and intellectuals. So all our activity must be based on absolute intelligence. In respect to the man who have the seal of Underland, tell him to remain calm and allow them to roof it to the best level that may be comfortable. Then when it comes, the principle of quick whip latetor, solo sedi, will come into play. Tell him to keep the CFO and wait. Let them finish the structure. I want to bring our strong comrade, the faculty of peace. No, this one is not for peace. The faculty of fire. The man that is ready to give them the way it is. You will recall that when we were detained, he was the one who started saying, "We won't break up! We won't break up!" This is Akada tested.
I have to tell you, hold on.
All right, my brother, the most respected Kelly, and I want you to anchor more on your experience today. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Edo, for I Comrade Kelly Osumbomoka. I'm the president of Faculty of Peace Organization worldwide. So, although you don't believe that everything that I do revolve around peace, I think the hallmark of peace is justice. The hallmark of peace is fair play. The hallmark of peace is all about equity. So,
please share. If you have not shared, please share. Share and invite your friend. We need all the people to be aware of all this. Please share. Wherever media you are watching it from, please share. Share. Thank you. Bye.
So you cannot get peace without talking about justice, fair play, and equity. That's the most time those are factor of peace and very call it what. Like I will say, I think this is started when I lost my voice during the gate issue.
No, you won't be saying.
So I lost my voice when CP Badu locked us up at museum. Badu, So, like I said, this whole struggle started by His Royal Majesty when he ascended the throne, and I remember how he collaborated with the dear governor to have a PPPP law, and our respected Solomon was the chairman at that time. So we know where the struggle have been coming up. Like every law, when you use it and you test it, sometimes it's bound for you to now also amend it to have a better way to deal with some of those social vices that we have seen. Today, although this is a public space, I went to a property to go and check to do something on that property. And lo and behold, I was expecting after the protest, maybe these land grabbers must have vanished and they must have relocated to Lagos, Abuja, and even some other in Ghana, and even in the Benin Republic as of today. Johnny Igbohu to fight for agitation of those land. But I was surprised that when we got there, we were about to do some stuff. We have, and before this time, we have settled the whole matter. They told me that men are on guard. For you to do something today, you need to make men happy. Men must stay. Now money they buy cottage. Now money they stay inside the bush. And I was not asking, why are you staying inside the bush? I think I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. So why this question and answer and everything? And I put a call through to because the person that gave me the property is from the community. He called them and not spoke with them before they left. That's to tell you, if not that I was dogged and I was able to maneuver my way, if you just ordinary average Edo youth or Edo man, Edo woman who doesn't understand how to beat all these people, well, the next thing you should be doing is to start looking for Esusu or pause and start dishing thousands of money to give them for them to smoke their Indian weed and buy cartridges. Bless, I'd like you to verify see this. I want to tell Edo people, please, this thing is very common among us of recent. And I try possible personally to stay away from this drama and attack. Why do we like to attack ourselves when we have money issues? Just like maybe only Edo people is the owner of, we are only the one using social media in Nigeria, both in diaspora and even here right here in Nigeria. The issue of land grabbing, like you talk about issue of people grabbing land. Nobody everybody has been a victim of land grabbers in Edo State. Everybody, I would say, even His Royal Majesty, the Oba Atokwe, I know many of his property in Benin, Osh Enige and Osh Ojowe and Osh Ohe, they will go there with everything they have and they will grab the land and sell it to other buyers who are interested. So like what Blessing said, this is the first time that people are coming together, having the courage to go on the street and speak against this evil act. And I'm wondering, why are we attacking ourselves? Like I told somebody, like Stanley said, cause are becoming. on course yesterday, I told somebody, we are the next generation. Every other person that be criticizing, whether you like it or not, we are the next generation. Governor Obaseki, Oshomole, Shaibu, Odubo, and the rest of others, they will not stay here forever. We pray for God to give us long life. We want to have our elders. But the truth is that these guys will not stay here forever. They are moving. They are graduating from one state to another. So also other set of Edo youth to be moving. Why do we like to disgrace and attack ourselves every now and then? For what reason? Mama Ebum said, we have just only 7 local governments in Edo South. Mama Ebum said, we are not even enough. Talk less of we dividing ourselves every time. This cause is a noble cause. The best you can do. The worst you can do, and the best you can do is to support. The worst you can do is for you to just stay clear and not start making statements that will trigger unnecessary controversy about this movement. What everybody said here. Not the person they carry for the sharp for phone. There ain't no pass, or there ain't get my password, or there ain't no pass. Some of us, like what we said, we have our image and integrity. We have everything. From here to all over to the flag where it's pegging in Washington DC. People know us to artists. Like I keep telling people, we have our content. We are not just activists that just try to make noise. So everybody, please, let's come together. But for you, like I will always tell people, because we see this thing always. When opportunity like this come, people try to shy away. For now, you are watching. You are really aware. You have issue with your land now, you don't want to talk. Abi, you have really aware. No wahala. Those who feel that they are overwhelmed and they are pride that at the end of the day, I trust God Almighty who dedicate people. God Almighty will also put smile in their faces. But those who want to stand and look and be watching from a distance, be looking with your pains in your heart, by the time you say you want to take action, just like what happened in the Bible, the story of the 10 virgins. Maybe by that time, the thing will not late. As at now, let everybody come together. You cry every day. They don't carry my land. They don't carry my land. I was expecting that the whole mission should be full to the beam on that day. Being that land issue is a major issue in Edo State. And yet, you were waiting for those people you feel that it's a professional protesters. Because so in some of your mind, you feel that so not we are on the street, we don't have anything to do. We are just there, like I'm just in my house, in my living room waiting. By the time doctor they come to me say, come again, come to Lingo, come and protest. I will just wear my check and just come and be protesting. Bros, everybody have his or her own passion. Just as we are sitting here, people are there in different hotels. There is a passion. Wasting 500, 2 million naira in table and they are just happy. So long you call them for drink, anywhere they are, they can convene and condescend and evaporate and put themselves together. That is the same way some of us see issue of struggle. It's not that maybe we have all the time or we have all the resources, but it's our passion. That is the reason why we embrace it every time we are called upon. And lastly, let me tell you, if I tell you what it takes for some of us to protest, bros, who wear shoe, I know wait for the pain. Personally, Kola knows. Outside protest, bros, not be say that a joke. Me na personal soft guy on my own on a good day. I not disrespect myself. But when I move to street here, when you see me, you see that I'm that different person like you see. Because I believe Martin Luther, as he do reach here, he know they wear rag, he dey wear tan suit. That doesn't take his own agitation away from him. Even Marcus Garvey, the father of all struggle, the father of black liberation movement in the world, was known for a corporate and a soft person. But when it comes to the street, you go wrong. Please let us come together. Don't stay aside and be looking. When you are looking from a side, you are a traitor. Your silence is a betrayer. Only those in the field that will be the one that will be vindicated at the end of the day. Thank you very much. God bless you.
I want to say a very big thank you to our brother. In fact, we don't have other names to it. We know the faculty of known peace, the faculty of let's give them fire for fire. I commend your effort that very day because his synergy was a great one.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody can act alone. That's why we believe that the system is the collection of parts or events that can be seen as a single whole thing due to the interdependence and interactions of those parts or events.
So you enter lost now.
So we stood together as a team. And I want to commend you on your submission. And I know you are aware, so I will not tell you that what we have done is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, sir.
We are determined in our quest to continue. Now let me tell you, let me prepare you. You have just seen the first segment of blackmail. Now you are being monitored. Everybody wants to make sure that you are not a perfect human. Your mistake is being searched. Once they see me, they say, we don't tell you. We don't tell you. See how, like me, before I choose to engage in any fight, I know they listen to the one when you talk. I know how many calls I receive say, don't respect, I don't hear that one. Me, this, bros, when you are ready to fight finish. A victor is never afraid of his victory. It is better for me and you to go to relegation than for you to speak me out. You still know what happened. For you to sweep us to relegation, Yawabu, I can continue. Even if you cannot go street, we gain our bros. Nobody took their power. But let me tell you, you can only succeed when the people are with you. Today I was at the CFO office. More than 8 diasporas never me called them. The day beneath. Let me tell you, they don't get anywhere for this time where anything will happen to one person for this struggle where the world will turn upside down.
Yes, sir.
We should be happy that we are privileged to serve the Edo people. You are indirectly serving the Edo people for now. You mustn't be a governor. You mustn't be a chief of staff. You mustn't even be a member of anything to be able to give back to your community. I want to bring our brother in, an academic gladiator.
He's the chief.
I cannot call him a political juggernaut for now because yes, but he's a strong academic gladiator. I want to bring a brother. I greet you.
Yes,
the Waka.
it's a pleasure that I'm with us this very evening. And it is very, very unfortunate and sad that we are in this very sad state today, talking about land grabbing. As the youth secretary of the Nigerian Labour Congress in those states, I feel very, very bad that our workers today, let me be very concerned about the two workers whose salary to so many of us is less than 30,000 naira when you talk about minimum wage. And majority of these workers, they save money, 30,000 naira monthly for years to buy land, to lay something on ground. Maybe after 35 or 30 years when they are retiring, you have somewhere to lay their head. But today, in Edo State, what is the situation? Like you listen to the teacher that cried out the other day that a building that she has been building for years, for 26 years she has been teaching, only for one ohe to just come and fence that place down. A lot of Edo workers today, they are suffering from these land grabbers in Edo State. And as a youth in the Nigerian Labour Congress Edo State Wing, they have decided that to say a cabinet regimental to land grabbers in Edo State. Because I am not a victim today. Tomorrow, I will be a victim. You are not a victim today. Tomorrow, you may be a victim. One message I want to pass across to the Edo workers, that we all must rise up to join this struggle. It is not the struggle of blessing. It is not the struggle of Kola Edo Paris. The struggle of Esosa where you may be calling them politicians. They are looking for something to get from the political class and all that. But this time around, I want to say this. I have presented a radio program, one of the most popular programs on radio for more than 15 years. And while I was on doing this job, a lot of you watching me, you know the person that's talking to you right now, aka Waka Eba. For that 15 years plus, most times we get complaints of people collecting people's land, selling one land to 10, 20 persons and all that. And we have cried and cried and cried. And thank God today we are having a group that is saying no to land grabbers. And what we all need is your support. You can't sit at the comfort zone of your house and expect manna to fall from heaven for you to reclaim those land that have been collected from you. A friend of mine bought 15 plots of land from this same community, only for him to retire from what he was doing to say, let me start investing with this land. 15 plots of land were gone. Where will such person go from there? Today, as I speak to you, that man was frustrated, left Benin City 2 years back to turn himself to a bus driver in Lagos.
Just imagine.
It is so bad. It's pitiable. And those workers, I want to say this clear now, that we shall overcome.
Yes.
And we can only overcome these land grabbers, these land thieves, if you and I come together to join this crusade, to join this movement, to say no to land grabber. On this note, I want to say this, that we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. I want to say this to you, that with this group, I want to assure you that these are men and women of integrity in this state, whose accountability has been tested and accredited. And I want to believe that this set of persons will never fail us. If you are a dog worker and your land has been grabbed over the years, and you've been so scared to come out to cry, this is the time for you to come out to this group with your petition, with your documents, and I want to reassure you as a youth, a very vibrant one for that matter in this state, that no intimidation or threats can be more powerful than the unity of the Edo people. In this note, I want to say thank you all and God bless all of us.
I want to tell you, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Your laudable submissions is acknowledged. Now the message is clear when the Bible, in the Bible days, our ubiquitous God was cautioning King Nebuchadnezzar. He refused to listen. He emphasizes on the fact that he's one of the greatest men who ever lived. But as of today, we are still sending a clear message to all land grabbers. And the whole of them should listen to the biblical inclination. Many take a you for sin. If they fail to listen to it, believe you me, they are going to meet their own water. That will not be my fault, and it will not be your fault. And let us state it clearly. We don't look at any face, because if you have to check faces in Benin and in the Edo State, we know virtually all faces. Are you getting the point? So for now, we have declared the entire faces of every citizen and Uche. We don't already know Uche face. So I want to state clearly, by Friday, by the power of God Almighty, we are going to come out with a central place where you can send your documents to us electronically. If you are on ground, you send it directly. If you are not on ground, send it electronically. We are willing to print them out and submit them to appropriate quarter. Get yourself prepared. This is a task that must be achieved. Now, let me tell you why we are fighting to ensure that land grabbing ends in Edo State. Don't be deceived. Land grabbing is one of the basic factors militating against employment generation in every state. And when you have when you have unemployment in a society, and you have citizenry that are underemployed, it gives room for both adult and juvenile delinquency in a society. And that is enough to create insecurity, economic imbroglio, and all other problems that may be even repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience in our contemporary society. So, not be saying we not get work. As we speak today, you know me as the CFO man in those states, and they move from place to place. But all of us, everybody went there, we get each other, this is what they do. But we can't be time say, no. You will continue to be collecting money, making money. The environment where you do not clear.
Don't give back to the society.
You must be ready to give back to society. And just none of us who are sitting here, let nobody deceive you. We have benefited immensely from Edo people.
Yes.
It is the truth. You cannot say that nobody has not benefited from Edo people. Or the man who just rounded up as the CPS of a local government. You will say he has not benefited from the people. What are you saying? So we have benefited immensely. I'm coming, yes. Whichever way we are doing it, we have benefited immensely from Edo people. It is now a responsibility on our part to give back. I don't. Is there any other submission from any person?
I think Edo people, like we said earlier, even though we believe that the movement of Monday was a huge success, and because of the fact that petitions have been submitted to the appropriate authority, there is a need to continue to follow up on these programs. So on this Friday, we are planning an earth-moving press conference.
A world press conference.
A world press conference. That where we'll be able to articulate issues as it concerns our cause. What is our cause? We are not fighting anybody. You may choose, however, to put yourself in the mix. But we are not fighting anybody. I reiterate, our fight is not against an individual. It is not against a group. Neither it is against it's not against friends. Many of us have friends and relatives who are in this game. But we are ready to sacrifice our relationship for the good and development of Edo State and our people. So, we are asking you to join on Friday. The programs will be rolled out from tomorrow. Roll it out so that you'll be able to follow properly. The fight is against land grabbing. It's against illegal encroachments of land grabbers and demolition, wicked and draconic demolition of properties of landowners and property owners that have been developed to very substantial extent. It is not against one singular individual. Thank you so much.
Yes, in absence of any other discussion, I think we're about rounding up the press, the media discussion with everyone around the world. But the truth of the matter is, we must as well thank the Deputy Governor and the Governor in absentia for receiving us and for giving us a very strong statement.
The Speaker.
Including the Speaker. I want to say a very big thank you. And we expect them to match actions with words. We expect them to match actions with words. We already know that for the Obaseki administration to reenact the 2017 law as amended in 2021, it shows that the government is committed.
Serious.
And we know that there are still some political powerhouse who can say now we won. We expect the governor to jettison every political.
Abeg, help us share this video and let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for dey hear all the things wey dey happen for Edo State. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan AIG YouTube.